Evening class. It's Wednesday night, and I just wanted to check in with all of you and look at a few things that might be helpful with your assignments for this week. It's late at night, it's been a long day, so I thought I'd kick back and sip on a cold one while I discussed a little medical terminology with y'all. So, here goes. Looking at some of these terms for this week, some of this information can get a little confusing. So I just want to go over some of the combining forms, the actual medical terms, and their pronunciations. So just looking at the medical combining forms first, let's look at some pronunciations. First of all, there's lympho, which refers to the lymph nodes. In the book here it talks about, it has a word lymphoid, which means resembling lymph nodes, or lymph fluid. Lymph fluid and lymph nodes are an important part of the immune system. Lymphadeno. That term refers to the lymph glands and lymph nodes specifically. Lymphadenopathy is a disease involving the lymph glands. Lymphangio is a lymph vessel, and those are the vessels that carry the lymph fluid around the body. Lymphangioma is a tumor involving the lymph vessels in the body. Morphology. Morphology is the study of form or shape. We talk about morphology when we refer to different body types. Myelo, that is a word that I use quite a bit. It means either spinal cord or bone marrow. Myelopathy is a disease process involving the spinal cord. I have a lot of patients that come to us with myelopathy, and you can see nervous system changes and changes in their muscle strength, coordination, when they have problems with the spinal cord. Nucleome, nucleus, pretty much self-explanatory. Mononucleosis is a condition that involves the lymph nodes, monocytes, lymphocytes. I'm sure some of you probably had mononucleosis. I had it once, and it's not fun. I almost had to drop out of school because it was during one of my semesters in college, and I tried to stick it out the best I could. All I would do is go to class, come home, go to bed, sleep for about 18 hours, get up, go to class, go back to bed. The word phago, swallowing or eating, that is a common term. That's a common combining form that's used with a lot of speech therapists, with all speech therapists. Dysphagia is a term that means difficulty eating. In the book here, it says phagocyte, referring to a cell that helps to break down. It's like a white blood cell that helps to break down material, foreign matter in the body. Sero, which refers to blood serum. There's also spleen, spleno, that refers to the actual spleen itself. The spleen is important in production of red blood cells. Splenomegaly is an enlargement of the spleen. We also have a lot of patients that have splenectomies, in which a surgical procedure is utilized to remove the spleen itself when it's diseased. Thrombo is a term that we've seen in the past. Thrombosis is a blood clot, a condition of having a blood clot. Thymo refers to the thymus gland. Okay, let's go look at some of the review disease processes and terms. There's just a few things I wanted to look at really quick. Now I just want to look over some of these terms and talk about pronunciations and review what they actually mean. So, any disorder caused by abnormalities in the hemoglobin molecule is referred to as hemoglobinopathy. Okay, that's a condition where a disease process is taking place. Okay, swelling of tissue in the limb, usually due to obstruction or disease of a lymph vessel, is lymphedema. And that is a very common condition with patients, especially patients that have had breast cancer and had their lymph nodes removed, along with a lumpectomy. And in that case, patients have severe swelling in the limb that's affected. And then treatment often includes like a restrictive type sleeve, compression therapy, and physical therapy is involved in treatment of lymphedema as well to help return that lymph fluid back into the system. Disease of the lymph node is lymphadenopathy. Anemia associated with bone marrow failure. That is, they refer to that term as aplastic. Life-threatening allergic response. That one is anaphylaxis. And you can see that a lot of people have certain allergies. I have a niece that's very allergic to nuts, to peanuts, and she has to have her EpiPen with her at all times because she might go into anaphylactic shock if she's exposed to those substances. Denotes an infection that affects only those who are immunocompromised. This is a term. This term is opportunistic. Basically, it's kind of self-explanatory. If someone is immunocompromised, it means their immune system is down, and in that case, they are susceptible to infection. And so, a disease that takes hold in a person that's immunocompromised is referred to as opportunistic. Deficiency in red blood cells or hemoglobin is erythropenia. Penia meaning decrease, erythro meaning a red blood cell. Infectious, presence of bacteria or other toxins in the blood. That is sepsis. Sepsis is a dangerous condition. Once sepsis takes hold, it shuts down organs. It can result in organ failure and death if it's not treated quickly. Let's see what else here. Okay, anemia caused by destruction of erythrocytes. That is a hemolytic condition. Lysis meaning destruction of. Hemo referring to blood. Okay, let me just review a few other terms with you here, and then we'll be about done. Okay. Arthralgia. That means pain in the joints. And that's a condition that I see quite often. I get a lot of elderly patients that come to us complaining of pain in the knees and the hips. That's referred to arthralgia and referred to as arthralgia, often due to osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis. Erythropenia, we talked about already. Hemarthrosis, that's another common condition that means blood in the joints. That can be from an injury or a bleeding disorder. In this chapter, we talk a lot about like prothrombin time and bleeding disorders, clotting factors. People that have to be on medications to thin their blood are very susceptible to some of these conditions like hemarthrosis. A hematologist is one that studies or like lab work, looks at blood work, and hematomas. Hematoma is actually a big bruise where bleeding occurs and causes that bruising. My patients, I have a lot of patients with hematomas due to falls. Some have hematomas on their hips, on their knees, mostly the hips when they fall. Hemostasis is a condition in which the blood work is at a normal level and controlled. Splenomegaly, we talked a little bit about, and leukocytosis is a condition involving the white blood cells. Hopefully those pronunciations and definitions were a little helpful for you and somewhat of a review. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to contact me. I'm available anytime. You can text me or send me an email or even message me through the class here. I hope you're all doing well and have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.